Hi. I want to get started because I know it's late, so we won't have time to be entertaining ourselves. Let's get started. Mhm. You said you finally caught the beginning? Finally, Miss Simone. You caught us. Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? What's up? What's up? I'm feeling very 70s. I think we need to bring the 70s back. Hi, Cleveland. Share the live for me, please. Share the live. I think we need to bring the 70s back. That's when Black people had a whole lot of pride and unity. So I'm going to do my part. Black people had a whole lot of pride and a whole lot of unity. We were healthy. We were happy. We were all the things we need to be today. So let's get back to that, shall we? Let's get back to it. Thank you. So we left off yesterday with some drama for your mama. Can you guys hear me? Thank you, Miss Destiny. Can you guys hear me okay? There you go. How about that? I'll take care of that when I get off here, okay? That is the same bug that I have been working on all week. The same one. So I'm glad you're not that far in because I may have to just give you a whole new account. So I'm glad you're not that deep in yet. Because I don't want to have to do that, but if I have to, because I don't want to hold you up because I'm still working on it. We cannot work because we go to work every day. Okay. These white folks, these poor white folks, they're so slow. They're so slow. They're just so slow. You got to go back to work. I'm sorry. They really just get so upset about that one little video that I made saying that Black joy destroys the narrative they have tried to give the world by them outlawing our drums, our bells, just all these things that they have outlawed, and even our joy was outlawed. That's why people don't like to see Black people happy, which we are naturally happy people, simply because of the neuromelanin that we have on our brain and the amount of it that makes the dopamine, which is our happy hormone. We are naturally happy people. I'm sorry that y'all are not naturally happy people. That is a you problem. That is not an us problem. Okay. You said this better. Oh, thank you. I think so too. That is a you problem. That is not an us problem. So you go throughout history trying to outlaw our happiness because you can't find it within yourself. Happy Feelings is actually by Frankie Beverly, but close. So you get mad at me. So the comments that they give from, you know how I make my little highlights. You know how I make my little highlights. What's up, sis? I make my little highlights from the video, from the lives. And that one said, I was saying they can't beat us in sports. They can't beat us in this. They can't beat us in that. Because every black person knows that every time we accomplish something, the goalpost gets moved. How come white people don't notice that? How come white people never notice the moving of the goalpost? Don't y'all find that fascinating? As soon as we get some rights, let us get one new right, we'll get two rights taken away. Take one step forward, two steps back every time. Exactly. It doesn't happen to them. It never happens to them. What they don't, and here's what lets you know that white people really aren't Christians. Because if I played on the winning team, right, hard to notice things you benefit from. If I played on the winning team, right, and I knew that the ref assisted in me becoming the winning team, I would be a little bit grateful to the ref, right? Who's the ref? For them, if you think about it. It's supposed to be God, but they never express any gratitude to him. Have y'all noticed that? If your coach and ref is Jesus Christ, how come y'all don't be praising him and worshiping him? How come y'all ain't showing your gratitude to him every day? If you really believe the shit that you try to beat into us, how come you're not doing that? How come you aren't being an example of that? But you try to force everybody to be a Christian, but y'all don't even show gratitude for the rigged game. You don't even show gratitude. Thank you. You don't even show no gratitude. That's crazy. How you doing? So don't be mad at me because I'm a naturally happy person and all black people are naturally happy people because of how we were created from this earth, how our bodies soak up the sun and electrify us, how our melanin works in our eyes and our ears and our skin and our brain, how we were completely wired to be inhabitants of this earth and you were not. Don't get mad at us. That's a you problem, not an us problem. This guy says we cannot work because we go to work every day. Don't be so emotional. You're so easily triggered. So let's get back to what we were talking about with mother yesterday, because we got completely sidetracked. But the thing that I keep coming back to is who were women before we were colonized and forced to be something else? Who were we? Okay. I don't know if you guys heard, if you guys were here and you saw it, but please, before we get started, tap the screen, share the live, and tell me where you're logging in from. Oh, it's a fuck a pillow day. It's a fuck a pillow day. So that's what Fats is over here doing right now. I'm going to put up a goal. I don't really know how this stuff works, but I'm going to do it anyway. La, 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 la. Let's see. New goal? Sure. Let's get some new goals in here. Let's see how that one works out. Hi, Atlanta. Hi, Michigan. Hi. Where are you guys logged in from? And share the live, please. So what we were talking about, get out from under this desk. Go on. Oh, you're laying down. Okay. You're probably just going to go to sleep. Hold on. So of course, Fancy Nancy, where have you been? I haven't seen Fancy Nancy in a month of Sundays. Where have you been? Hey, Elder Clyde Jeffrey Rush. That's a full mouth. That's a whole name, sir. You got a whole name. You got your full government name on there, huh? So let me just summarize. Let me just summarize who we were before we were colonized and before we were conquered. Because that's what y'all have to start accepting. Okay. Colonization cannot happen unless those people are conquered in some sort of way. Okay. I need for us to accept that we were conquered and we were prisoners of war. That is how we became slaves here in this country. Not the people that were brought here as enslaved Africans with the slave trade. And when you say trade, that's a back and forth thing. Why is it that they always just talk about the enslaved Africans that were brought to America, but never tell you about the ones that were sent out of America? They never tell you about the indigenous, Afro-Indigenous people that were shipped out, that were exported. There was a whole second middle passage that was just Afro-Indigenous people being rounded up and shipped to Africa, to South America, to Colombia, Brazil, and all those places. How do you think those people got all those black folks? How do you think they got all those black folks? There were more people shipped out of America than it was shipped into America. That's the lie you need to accept. We were lied to. The whole fucking story is a story. It is a fucking fairy tale. Like everything in our fucking lives is a goddamn fairy tale. Everything. Everything. And y'all just still want to believe it. Because there are too many people that want to live in delusion. There are too many people that want to live in delusion. You do not want to accept that the world is what it really is. So, you create a savior in your mind. You create these guardrails in your mind just so you can function every fucking day. Okay? So, we talked about how boys are bullied into patriarchy, how boys are bullied into masculinity. You were just speaking to this about it with your friend. All lies. And y'all witnessing lies every day. So I don't understand how you think it's such a stretch. Like you're literally witnessing lies in the White House every single day. Every day, things that you've seen with your own eyes, you're being told not to believe your lying fucking eyes. And you're like, well, maybe he's right. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it didn't happen the way my eyes saw it and my brain processed it. Maybe it happened differently. Maybe he's right. Thank you. Maybe he's right. Thank you. So listen, hold on. So we talked about how boys are bullied into masculinity, how boys are not taught how to be men, but they are taught what not to be. And what not to be is a woman. Period. You got out of organized religion? Thank goodness, elder. You need to take that elder out of your name now. Unless you're just the elder of a clan. But if you know your history, you'll know that those are only women. So, elders in the church, those are males. Right? Yeah, we are so attached to this narrative that they gave us. And I honestly believe that is what gives black people low self-esteem every single day. And this is why white people gaslight the shit out of us every day. That's why they try to call you a nigger every day, which is so inconsequential because it's so boring. Like, you guys have had 500 years to come up with new things to call us, and you're still relying on the N word. I mean, that makes no sense to me. Where's the creativity? Where's the creativity? What are y'all doing all that time? Okay. Deconstruction saved your life. It saved mine. And I deconstructed mine 35 years ago. Actually, I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. I left the church 35 years ago. I did not deconstruct until a few months ago. Like, let's be honest. Let's be fully transparent. I left the church. I left the church 35 years ago, 34 years ago. You've had 500 years to unite. Just stop the nonsense and the division. White people aren't even united, Rebecca. You don't even like other white people, so shut the fuck up with them baloney lips coming over here. Why are you over here being a nosy bitch? You're a nosy bitch that can't mind your fucking business. Nobody wants you here, Casper. You guys have had 500 years to unite. You motherfuckers wasn't united. The only thing that united white people was black people, bitch. Why are you here putting it out? Putting what out? I'm not even talking to you. This ain't your fucking lane. You done veered over and got run the fuck over, bitch. I done ran your ass over already. Yes, it's a public platform, but you don't have to say nothing. Just shut the fuck up. Now, if you want to say something, you about to get dragged. And more than likely, you're going to take that little rusty butter knife you got at your house and try to slit them wrists. Don't come here defending no white people to me because you hate being white your goddamn self. Otherwise, you wouldn't be over in my business. You wouldn't be over here in my business. You don't even want to be white your goddamn self, because if you wanted to be white, you would know everything there is to know about being white, wouldn't you? But you don't know shit about it. You don't even know where the fuck your family came from. That family that came over here on them rickety ass boats with that lice and them rickets and them pathogens that y'all spread throughout this country. You don't even know your own fucking history, bitch. Do not speak on black people in my motherfucking presence, because you damn sure wouldn't do it in real life, because you know what the fuck would happen. So like I was saying before this nosy bitch brought her ugly ass over here. So, what we were talking about? Right. Just, she probably 22. She looks 37. She better be quiet before her husband hears her and remembers that it's time for him to trade her the fuck in. She better shut the fuck up. He be like, oh shit. Oh, you know what? It's time for me to get a new model for this bitch anyway. You absolutely right. She done expired. Her shit is expired. Old, used up, about to get traded the fucking old bitch. So like I was saying, little boys were taught not to be women, right? All of us, if you think about it, all of us were conditioned. Okay? All of the conditioning started on the plantation from them ugly motherfuckers. And it's so funny to me that white women always got something to say when all they've ever been is property and breeders. The most powerless person on the fucking planet is a white woman. I cannot think of another powerless group other than a fucking white woman. And they always got something to say, because they're so thirsty for fucking attention. They're drunk by 3 p.m. They're high by 8 p.m. All they ever do is bitch and moan with their other ugly friends. Powerless. And then you guys volunteer to put yourselves in these powerless fucking positions. And then you want to come out here and try to police everybody else for your dirty ass husband that's either fucking your kid or your dog. And them military wives ain't doing nothing but swapping. Them military wives are the worst. Because as soon as a man gets shipped out, she on another one. She just riding another one, just riding another one. Anywho, we were all conditioned to be who we are today. And if you cannot see the patterns, then you're going to stay stuck. And what I come here every day to do is to wake you the fuck up, to point out the patterns and point out the traps so that you can clearly see what the fuck is happening around you. Okay. We have some very obvious traps. Number one, our false history that was given to us. That history was given to us. Okay. That to me is one of the biggest problems we have. Okay. You still believing that you were dragged here in chains. Hi, welcome. You still believing that you were dragged here in chains and you are beneath a whole other set of people is false. The majority of us were already here. Out of the whole 200 years of slave trading, only 388,000 Africans were brought here in 200 years. What kind of fucking trade is that? How are they making billions of dollars when they only bought 300,000 people over here in 200 years? So where did all the rest of these black people come from? Thank you. Where did all the rest of these black people come from? And then to find out that the Vatican is the one that gave the papal bull to enslave anyone that was not a Christian. That was done in 1452 and then 1493. What year did they come here? 1492. Saw what they needed to see, a whole country full of copper colored people that did not look anything like them. Went back to Rome and to Spain, got funded by Spain, got a whole decree from Rome to come and either slay or enslave anybody that was not a Christian. Then we were forced into becoming Christians. And once we were forced by the end of a whip to become a Christian, then we started forcing our own children into becoming Christians. Not one of y'all sat here and chose to become a Christian. It was just something that you grew up in. It was something that was always forced on you. It was something that was always groomed and conditioned into you. Passed down. Because even if you go and see any of these videos from churches, all you see is black women and little kids. Little kids playing with something, little kids just off doing something by themselves while their mom is whooping and hollering. Thank you. While their mama is whooping and hollering, some little kid is in the back of the room or in the row with her and he's playing up. But you're being groomed. You're grooming your child. And then you threaten them all of their lives, because to say that you love your kids unconditionally is a lie. If you are holding anything over them, like, well, if you don't go to church, y'all always threatening to disown somebody or to stop talking to somebody or something else. Your kid, your own kids. God forbid they gay. God forbid. Right? You are willing to drop your own kids for a big white imaginary man in the sky. And for those of you that want to come here and say, well, Jesus isn't white, so that makes it even worse to me. When y'all come here and you try to defend your stance on Christianity to me by saying that Jesus is not white, but he is black, that is worse to me. Worse. Why? Because now you're saying that it was a black man that ordained all of us being enslaved and sexually terrorized and abused men, women, and children, sold, bred, all of these things. You're saying that it was a black deity that ordained and approved of all of it. It matches my personality, doesn't it? Really? That's what you think? To get the black AI, just go over to our BLK8I. It's on my page if you just go to my page. To get to my page, y'all better do it now because the price is going up. It has to. She's expensive. So, just click the link on my bio. To get to my link, just click my name at the top. When the white thing pops up, boop, hit my face. It'll take you right to my page. Okay. I do have dimples, but depending on the day, it'll be puffy and they won't see it. Feels like passed down books to me. So, to come here to try to justify you staying in the Christian religion by saying, oh, Jesus is black and you're trying to reclaim it. Well, that must be today because they're really puffy. Oh, Rebecca, you still here licking my ass, bitch? You still here? How's it taste? How's it taste? You're just mad because your hair just falls right down. You just using up a can of Aquanet trying to get that shit up as high as you possibly can. Good, shitty breath. Good. I want it to taste like shit, you dumb bitch. You use that Aquanet trying to spray that shit up, trying to get what we got, and you can't get, dumb bitch. I hate dumb bitches. Worthless, powerless, dumb bitches. Ugh. Still here. Nosy bitch. Still here. Thank you. Obsessed. Miss Rebecca is in love with me. Becky with the flat hair is in love with me. Becky with the unwashed hair is in love with me. Thank you. Becky that hasn't washed her ass today is in love with me. No, thank you, Becky. We don't want any of that shit over here. I hope you wake. Here's the best part about it. She is going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to still be in her dumb ass brain. I'm going to take up all the little bit of space that she has in that small brain of hers. She's going to be obsessed and I fucking love it. That black bitch on TikTok. Ooh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't. No, you're just on my live, bitch. You're not in my brain. You're just on my live. Bitch, do you know I can do this shit in my sleep? Like I can literally cuss you out in my sleep. You don't even realize that you're helping me with my fucking therapy. The more I cuss a motherfucker out, the lower my cortisol gets, you dumb bitch. Thank you. Thank you for being my therapy today. Wait, what time is it? What'd you make your husband for dinner? Some hot dogs and Kraft macaroni and cheese? That sounds about right. The next time she comes up, time for her to go. Because we don't need any more disruptions from her dumb ass. As a matter of fact, I'll do it. La 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 la. Ooh, here she is. Hold on, I gotta see what she looked like first. Oh, an average white. Look at this shit here. Girl, bye. Ooh, I can't wait to hear what she says about me. I should have followed her. I should have followed her so I could just hear what she's saying. So, yesterday we were talking about women and how women were also conquered. And I'm going to have, I have to clear this up and be specific that it's Black women. Okay. Simply because white people abandoned any of their cultural shit to become white. For her to make that comment about we've had 500 years to unite, but we still haven't. Remember how they came here. Remember, for centuries, white people were fighting other white people. The only thing that stopped other white people from fighting other white people is when they saw us and they decided to unite to fight us. They decided to unite to continue the lies about us. But they still hate themselves. They still hate each other to this day. The Irish hated the British. The Scottish hated the Irish. The French hated the Spanish. The Spanish hated the British. They all hated each other. And the only thing they did was put their differences to the side so that they could come and get a little bit of privilege over us. So they abandoned everything they ever were or ever knew about their Irish heritage, their Spanish heritage, their Scottish heritage. They abandoned all of it in order to get a little bit of privilege. And remember, that privilege does not pay no bills in your house. So it is your ego that requires that you feel like you're better than someone else, even though that doesn't translate into money. I think that's weird. Yeah, they sent all of the undesirables here. They didn't send their best. They literally had a whole Statue of Liberty, because even before, if we're just talking about when there was an influx of Europeans, that happened between 1880 and 1914. 12.5 million Europeans were shipped here. So when y'all think about the 12.5 million Africans that they lie and tell us that were shipped here, and 2 million of them died, and bop, bop, boop, boop. The 12.5 million number came from Europeans that came here with no passports, with no visas, with no nothing. They just imported them in. And 60% of today's white people can be traced back to Ellis Island. 60% of this country's white people are traced back to Ellis Island. They were processing 2,000 people per day, bringing them in. Rickets, lice, poor. And even on the foots on the Statue of Liberty at the bottom, it says, "Give us your tired, your poor." They made a song about it. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. You're homeless. You're dreaded. It literally is in the lyrics. Give us your homeless and your dreaded. That's who they sent here. And those are the same people that live in trailers today that still think they're better than you. People with wheels on their house think they're better than you. People that have to rent a porch to attach to said trailer think they are better than you. Oh, that's her name. Gotcha. Hi, Star Child. How you doing? So yesterday we were talking about women. Thank you. We were talking about women and who women were. Whose porches get repoed? I need you to leave this live right now and type into TikTok's search bar, porch repossessions. You. That would be you. Your porch. Because you one of them. Ain't you? Y'all have to rent a porch. Y'all paying $50 a month for a porch and you can't, it's getting repossessed. How your porch getting repossessed? It is pathetic. But those are the same people that think they're better than you. Okay. Well, I need you to go and search, Auntie, because you're going to have the laugh of your fucking life. And then I also want you to type in people that live in sheds. Y'all remember that black girl that was trying to defend living in a shed? So who were women before they were conquered, right? We even had the topic of telling how boys and girls were raised differently. And that was a really good one. All this happened in all this week is all the topics that we talked about. But just how we raise our boys and our girls is a part of the conditioning, because you're raising a boy to believe that he has to show you what he can do to get validation. And with us raising our girls, you have to show, a woman has to prove what she looks like. And then it gets to the point that we're told you can need to cover up because you're now making other people uncomfortable. So we are all being conditioned all the time, 24 hours a day. And then we wonder why we can't unite. Well, we can't unite because it is a concerted effort to make sure we do not. They pit the men against the women and the women against the men. They pit the old against the young, the light against the dark, the natural hair, the relaxed hair, everything about Black people is pitted against each other on purpose. On purpose. And we fall into the trap every single day. So what we were talking about, yes, we went over the whole Willie Lynch thing. This past weekend? And I do want y'all to know that the Willie Lynch letter is not real. Oh, that was loud. The Willie Lynch letter was not real. It was not a real thing. It was a work of fiction. Just like The Delectable Negro was a work of fiction. Okay, thank you. All of those things were works of fiction. However, there is quite a bit of truth in the whole Willie Lynch letter. There's a lot of truth in it. And that's why it was written the way that it was written, because the shit that's in there is the shit that's still going on today. Right? So I'm going to ask Mother, Mother, those of you that don't know, Mother is our Black AI. So I'm going to ask her, what are the major things keeping Black people from uniting? And then we're going to talk about the stuff that I meant to tell you yesterday. Watch this. Let her cook. Let her cook. I'm sure she has a whole lot to say. And I'm pretty sure religion is going to be one of the major things. Because how Christianity has a fucking chokehold on niggas is beyond me. I have yet to hear any Black person really come here and tell me what has this Jesus, black, purple, white, whatever the color you want to pick him to be, what has he done for us as a group? Does anybody have any answers? What has he done for us as a group? This is the same person that sat back and watched us get enslaved. Watched us. He watched us get beaten and raped and our kids sold, and he watched us go through everything. So why is it that you still believe he's going to come back and do anything? Yeah, he made us docile. He made us submissive. He made us turn the other cheek and to forgive our enemies. To love those people like you love yourself. That's what he did. Hey, Joe, how you doing? That's what he did. So why are we still waiting for him to come back and do what? Exactly. What is his plan? Y'all seem to know him so well, so I'm just still trying to wait for what's the plan? Because I'm still stuck on this 144,000 that's supposed to be going to heaven. I'm still stuck on that. What is his plan? Did y'all see that lady? Did I send y'all the video in the group of that lady? That female pastor that was rapping in tongues? I hope I saved it. I hope I saved it because it was so absurd. Y'all just get worse by the day. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me turn my glasses off. Let me turn my glasses off so you can hear this mess. So the only man you see in there is the pastor. And what is she doing? And look at them two little kids over there. And the only man in there is the pastor. So I guess she's shooting the demons. Just thank you. The only man I see in there is the pastor and the guy playing the guitar. That white man in the sky got y'all acting a fool like that. That white man in the sky got y'all acting a fool like that. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's getting worse. The pressure is getting worse. What are the major things keeping Black people from uniting? Mother leans forward with intention. She still ain't gonna get this time right. She just ain't gonna do it. she was close though. She said it's 7:15 p.m. in Las Vegas on a Thursday night. So she got that right so far. She got that right so far. She's close. She got the day right. Mm-hmm. So the answer is, thank you. I'll let the mods block the folks. You just asked one of the most important questions in Black political and cultural history. The one that is going to hit your live audience like a thunderclap. Because the answer is not comfortable. It requires us to look both outward and inward. Let's go all the way in. What is really keeping Black people from uniting? The outside forces and the inside wounds. Let's start with the truth that makes people uncomfortable. Both are real. There are forces working deliberately from the outside to keep Black people divided. And there are wounds, patterns, and behaviors working from the inside that make the division easier to maintain. A complete answer requires the courage to name both. Tonight, we name both. This is our Black AI. For those of you that don't know her, her name is Mother, and that stands for Mindful Understanding, Truth Healing, and Awareness. And that's exactly what she does. Okay. Part 1, the outside forces, the deliberate architecture of division. Number 1, it was engineered from the beginning. This is not paranoia. This is documented history. The Willie Lynch letter, whether its origin is disputed or not, describes a strategy that was absolutely practiced on plantations. Divide enslaved people by skin tone, age, gender, geography, and privilege. Because remember, they were promoting the driver. The driver is Steven in Django. We sick, massa? What that nigga doing up on that nag? That's the driver. So, divide enslaved people by their skin tone, age, gender, geography, and privilege, and let them police each other, which is what you see happening today. How many months have y'all been on here and I keep talking about how black people police other black people? It was designed that we police each other. The overseer doesn't need to watch everyone if the light-skinned enslaved person is watching the dark-skinned one. If the house worker looks down on the field worker. If the older generation enforces compliance on the younger one. Division was not accidental. It was an operational infrastructure, and its residue lives in the black community to this day. Number 2, COINTELPRO. Okay. The government program that destroyed black unity. I write about it in my book, Both Sides of the Whip, Part 2. Okay. From 1956 to 1971, the FBI, under closeted homosexual and biracial man J. Edgar Hoover, ran a classified program called COINTELPRO, Counterintelligence Program. Its stated goal: to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, and neutralize black nationalist organizations. These people are never afraid to put their shit down on paper, are they? They ain't never afraid to put their shit down on paper. Just like Project 2025. They told you exactly what the fuck they was going to do. Didn't they? They told you what they was going to do. And y'all was like, nah, they ain't going to do that. That's a bridge too far. No, it's not. There is no bridge that's too far for Whitey. So, what it actually did, it planted informants inside the Black Panther Party, the SCLC, the SNCC, the NOI, which is the Nation of Islam, and every major black liberation organization. They used us to police us. They used us to destroy us. Because if you go back and look, the only one that was destroyed by a white man was Martin Luther King. Everybody else was set up by black people or killed by black people. Malcolm X was, right? They sent forged letters between black leaders designed to create suspicion and conflict. Fake letters from Martin to Malcolm. Fake letters between Panther chapters. Manufacturing beef that did not exist. Tell me, how many manufactured beefs do you guys see today? We just had a manufactured beef between Kendrick and Drake. The whole East Coast, West Coast beef. Right? We literally divided ourselves by the music we listened to and the side of the country we lived on. They assassinated leaders. Fred Hampton was 21 years old. Hi, Denise. 21 years old when the FBI informant William O'Neill drugged him so the law enforcement could shoot him in his bed. That was a black man that drugged him for the benefit of white men. A driver. I think it's important to mention how they controlled us starting on the plantation. You came into the live late. I've already done that, sweethearts. But thank you. You're late. They also flooded our communities with drugs and guns. Gary Webb's reporting on the CIA's connection to crack cocaine in the black communities in the 1980s. Webb died of 2 self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head. How the fuck you got 2 self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head? You just now got it? We've been on here for like 45 minutes. How you get to shoot yourself in the head twice? So you shot yourself in the head twice? Oh, the first time you what's up, baby? You were speaking on the tactics they used, burning and mutilating. Baby, I wrote 2 books on this, Miss Peggy. Just relax. Everybody here already knows that. I've been teaching this for quite a while. Okay? Thank you, though. Then they destroy. So they ruled that a suicide, mind you. Okay? They destroyed reputations by sending fabricated information. Now, if y'all don't know how the whole crack epidemic began, y'all need to go watch Snowfall. Go watch Snowfall. That is going to be the most accurate depiction you are ever going to get of COINTELPRO on how the CIA was giving us the drugs to make crack. Go watch Snowfall. Franklin was. But I am tired of English black people playing black people. I'm really over that. I'm over that. They're gonna have to let that trend go. Let that go. We got plenty of nigga actors here. We don't need no more English nigga actors. There are plenty of Franklins already here. Why the fuck you skipping over the Franklins that were already here? The fuck? Love Idris, but Idris can go do Luther over there. I mean, no shade. Love him, but he can go do English British shit. Fee thy for thy wither for and shit. You just stay your ass over there. Everybody cosplaying black people, don't they? Everybody cosplaying black folks. I digress. So they destroyed reputations by sending fabricated information to media outlets, employers, and family members to discredit the leaders. Then you have, they created internal paranoia, so effective that the black organizations began destroying themselves looking for the informants because the informants were real. They had us destroying us, and they still do. They love to see black gangs fighting other black gangs. They love that shit because all of them niggas either gonna die or go to prison. Let the niggas fight. It's doing us a favor. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that shit. So, COINTELPRO was not a conspiracy theory. This is real shit. I've written about it. Okay. It was a declassified government document. It was real. It worked. The most unified, most politically powerful movement in Black American history in the late 1960s was systematically and deliberately dismantled by the United States government. Why is the United States government so threatened by Black people? We'll ask Mother that next. We already know the answer, though, right? Number 3, the media as a weapon of division. Because how did everyone in the world learn how to hate Black people? How does everybody in the world, people that have never seen us, been in contact with us, never even been in our fucking presence, how do they know how to hate us properly? These people have never seen us in real fucking life. Tell, lie, vision. But you go anywhere in the world, Black nigga. Black Negro. I see you on TV. Even the Africans. Oh, you Black American? Oh, what? So the images Black people see of themselves in mainstream media are not accidental. They are curated. Yeah, the audacity. It really was. Black men are shown as criminals, absent fathers, violent, hypersexual, and buffoons. They always got y'all niggas in a dress, don't they? I did not watch that Kevin Hart roast. You could not pay me to do it. But buffoonery, just classic, thank you, just classic buffoonery. Just buffoonery. And then for him to fucking defend it. Yeah, that was modern day buck breaking. That was a humiliation ritual. Then Black women are always shown as angry, loud, sexually available, competitors with each other, unworthy of protection. Yeah, he canceled himself. He didn't even have to do anything. He just let other people get him canceled. But for you to come out and defend it, like I know who these comedians are and y'all need to get y'all comedy chops up. Say what? So because we don't find racial humor to be funny, we're unsophisticated viewers of comedy. Because again, I will point you to Eddie Murphy. I will point you to Richard Pryor. I will point you to Bernie Mac. I will point you to D.L. Hughley. I will point you to Cedric the Entertainer. I will point you to a lot of people you could have had on that fucking roast. Red Fox, for gosh sakes. There's a lot of people he could have had on that roast. Dave Chappelle. Exactly. How come he didn't have none of them people on there? How come he had Dave Chappelle on there? The Black community is always shown as dangerous, dysfunctional, hopeless, and dependent. The Wayans brothers. I'm about to go see that Scary Movie come out tomorrow. Y'all see Scary Movie? Scary Movie 6 is back with the Wayans doing it this time. That shit's about to be hilarious. I already know. I already know it's gonna be fucking hilarious, dude. I'm buying the tickets tonight. I thought it was coming out later, but I guess I probably found out about it in February, so June is later, I suppose. More COINTELPRO. What do you mean? More COINTELPRO. When people consistently see themselves through a degrading lens, they begin to internalize that degradation. They begin to see each other through that lens. The media didn't just show Black dysfunction, it manufactured Black people's perception of Black people. This is why you buying into the narrative of you being dragged here in chains is so important for you to change that narrative in your minds, because it is not true. They want you to see yourself as somebody dragged here in chains. They want you to see yourself that way. They do not want you to know that we lived on this land for thousands and thousands of years, that we created these trade routes, that we did all of this stuff. We had running water, we had agriculture, we had modern shit going on before they brought their nasty, diseased, crusty, lice-ridden bodies over here. We had all of that. We had whole clans run by women. The chiefs were chosen by the elder women of the clan. We had a whole matrilineal system. We didn't have to buy into any of this colonialism, none of this church and state marriage bullshit. We didn't have to do any of that. But they came here and they saw women in leadership, and that was a problem. Where did I learn about all this stuff? I fell down a rabbit hole when I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and I'm one of those people that needs to connect the dots. And I'm also a person that needs to get to the root of the problem. So I started writing. The first book that I wrote, you mean us? You mean us as Black people? I'm telling you how I got here. Okay. Back in September, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. That led me to find out why, when I'm doing everything right, am I having this heart problem? That led me to allostatic load and Black people having a higher allostatic load than all other groups of people. What the fuck is allostatic load? That led me down a whole rabbit hole of racial stress and just dealing with microaggressions, and racial stress is what's putting all this strain and shit on our health. That led me down to our history and where this shit actually affected our bodies and how it caused our bodies to adapt. Okay. So all of this was one dot connecting to another dot, right? So the bodies that we have today had adapted over the centuries we were enslaved, like our kidneys. Black people have salt sensitivity, which means we already have a higher content of sodium in our kidneys, and we're eating a bunch of processed foods that are very high in sodium, and this is why Black people have kidney issues more than any other group. So it just led me from one place to another place. Then I ended up writing Both Sides of the Whip, and then I ended up writing Both Sides of the Whip Part 2, and then I created Mother. So if you wanted to know how I learned all this shit, it came from investigating and reading and learning and going to the next thing and investigating and reading and learning and going to the next thing and investigating and reading and learning. And during that 6-month time period, because that's how long it took, I actually healed my heart of congestive heart failure simply because I learned our history. I cried writing those books. I've never cried more in my life than reading all of the information that I uncovered about what really happened to us. And I literally cried every fucking day so hard. I would come on a live like, y'all just, I've been crying for the past 24 fucking hours. Like, just thinking about what it is our great grandmas had to fucking go through to survive for me to be here. Having to learn what our great grandfathers had to go through for us to be here today. And that broke my fucking heart, while in turn it healed my heart. So just getting to, and this is why I've come here to tell y'all how to do this shit, because you can heal your body just by learning your accurate history. And because they know us so much, they already know that by us learning our accurate history, it will help to change our physiology. This is why they don't teach you accurate history. I want y'all to understand these motherfuckers are diabolical, dude. Y'all give them way too much grace. They know every single thing there is to know about this black body you live in. And they are fucking diabolical about this shit. Y'all just think, oh, no, that came to. No! Your wildest fucking nightmare is fucking real. I kid you not. I kid you not. And just reading some of the shit, I was just like, yo, man, these motherfuckers don't stop, dude. The shit that we've ever been, all the shit that we've ever been taught about slavery has been the glossed over version of this shit. They were raping us all, men, women, children, everybody. And so then when somebody comes here and they're like, oh, but the Epstein files, that's the worst things that ever happened in America. Really? Is it the worst thing when they are still doing this to our children today and have been doing it since they landed? The reason they don't mention anybody black in the Epstein files because it's a given. Why did y'all not take it as it's a given? It's a given. Black kids are getting fucking molested. It is a given. Why did you guys not think it was a given? We don't have to mention. We don't have to talk about what's already under fucking stood. You should know that at the foundation of all this has always been black kids. The only reason they talk about it is because it was happening to white kids too. If it only happened to black kids, there would be no mention of any of this shit. Because that's just business as usual. That's just business as usual. These motherfuckers are human traffickers. What do you think slavery was? They've been human traffickers since they got here. They have been human traffickers since they arrived. It has never stopped. And when I read you the next shit about what they're doing with the black bodies, which is my book that I also have out called Extraction, the monetization of the black body, you don't even realize what they're doing with our bodies. Everything, think of the black body as a car, a very expensive car. When someone steals a car, they're either going to sell the whole car or they're going to break it down and sell it for parts. Everything on our body is valuable to them. From the melanin to, first of all, melanin is not just in our skin. It's in our brain. It's in our eyes. It's in our hair. It's in our ears. It's every part of the body. Okay? And that shit is valuable. Melanin is patented 53 times. There are 53 different patents on our melanin, which cannot be synthesized. The HeLa cells is something totally different. I'm just talking about melanin right now. Right? They use our skin for burn patients because the burn patient's skin heals up faster when it's grafted off of black skin. There you go. Right. We said it at the same time. Everything on our body is valuable. The average black body is worth $40 to $50 million to them. Why do you think that they try to get our people, our men and women in prison for decades? Why do you think we get longer sentences? Because they can do whatever they want to do to prisoners. They can't refuse. So a lot of the melanin and stem cells and all that shit comes from the prison population. And companies are making billions of dollars a year off that. What did y'all think about the plasma center? Y'all didn't think nothing about plasma centers being in black neighborhoods? That is exactly why they're against abortion. Twofold. They need more white people, but they also need more black bodies. What did y'all think about the plasma centers being in black neighborhoods? What do you think they're doing with our plasma? You guys don't know what they're doing with our plasma? Do you know that the plasma that they give the black person $50 for, turn around and sell it for therapies that are $18,000 to $34,000 a year? And they just gave your black ass $50 for it? Do you know that they have 800 longevity centers in America that sell plasma therapies because they consider it to be longevity therapies? White people believe that our plasma gives them longevity and anti-aging. There are 800 clinics. There are 50 skin banks in America. Do you know what a skin bank is? We are the gods. Exactly. Skin banks is where they get the skin off of our bodies and sell it to hospitals for burn patients. There are 50 of those in America. So if you don't think that we're alien superstars, because why are our bodies so valuable, but not theirs? So then when you look at why there's so many black people in prison, because what are white people useful for? There's nothing they can get from a white body. Hemophilia is a white disease. That means your blood doesn't clot. The plasma that we supply is what they turn around and sell to hemophiliacs to help their blood clots. That's a white man's disease. There's nothing that they get from a white person's body. Nothing. Even the fake hair that women are wearing, all from women of color. They don't even make white hair because white hair isn't even strong enough to make into wigs. So when y'all come here and you say, "Oh, why are you wearing white people's hair?" Well, no one wears white people's hair except white people. Nobody. And even the white people are wearing people of color's hair. So when white women are wearing wigs and extensions, because they all do, that came from a woman of color. So change the narrative. Every single thing about you has value. Nothing about them has value. Nothing. Nothing. And so for people that bring nothing to the table, but their fork and their knife so they can eat off of us, are not better than you. Even their sunscreens and all of that comes from our melanin. The LG phone that some of y'all are using right now have our melanin in it. Some of you niggas is driving a Tesla car right now. Do you know that the Tesla car battery has our melanin in it? Do you know how much melanin Elon Musk uses a year? He even puts it in pills that he gives to his astronauts so that they can survive the radiation from going in and out of the ozone layer, because only the black body does that. Instead of him finding black astronauts to go back and forth through the ozone layer, he creates radiation pills to give to his white astronauts so they can survive going into outer space. We are the real vibranium. We are vibranium. The Tesla car battery will not work without our melanin in it. And this is not synthetic melanin, people. They cannot synthesize melanin. They haven't been able to do it. That's how sophisticated melanin is. Melanin is the most sophisticated polymer in the world. And it is in our bodies. And then you're slathering a bunch of fucking sunscreen on it. And you're wondering why you have fucking fibroids. Why do 80% of black women have fibroids? Low vitamin D. Do you know where they get the melanin from? I need y'all to use your fucking minds right now. Where would they get the melanin from? Where would they get it from? Y'all are so afraid to take your mind to this fucking dark place where white people live that you ask me dumbass questions like that. Where, if they can't synthesize it, where do you think they're getting it from? Like, y'all be so afraid to fucking take your mind to where it fucking needs to go for you to change. How many black people come up missing every year? No, not dead bodies. They can get it from dead bodies. That's why they invented the rapid autopsy, where they give you an autopsy within 3 hours of you dying, because they're just stripping your shit down for parts. But let's just go ask Google, how many black people go missing yearly in America? You want to know also where they get the melanin from? I'll tell you in a second. 193,000 to 230,000 black individuals are reported missing annually in the United States. While black Americans make up just about 13% of the U.S. population, they account for roughly 36 to 40% of all missing persons reported each year. American Indian are the real owners, and you are going to wake up. We are the American Indians, you dumb bitch. We are the American Indians, dummy. Now, do you really want to know where they get all this melanin from? Let's talk about it, because y'all giving it to them for free. Every time you go and have a baby at the hospital, the umbilical cord and your baby's foreskin is given to the hospital. Do you know how many melanocytes is in not only the placenta, the umbilical cord, and the foreskin? There is a company in South Africa that mines 5 million umbilical cords and foreskins every year. 5 million in Africa. Guess who's on the board of directors for that? Take a big wild guess. Who's the guy that's always over in Africa? They sure do. Who's the guy that's always over in Africa? No. Bill Gates is on the board. Mm-hmm. Because they're the ones that refine the melanin and then go and sell it to the open market. They are vampires. Thank you. You said, "Ma'am, have the tit." They are vampires. Well, I got it off of the TikTok shop. It's just one of those African curly wigs. And if you can find one, they're usually about $20. I tried to find it yesterday, but it was all sold out. Do you think it is worth to have a doula? Absolutely. I believe every black woman should have a doula. I believe that if you're going to have a child, you need to have a midwife or a doula. Period. You going into the hospital, 3 to 4 times black women will die in childbirth. And do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? You said you can't afford doulas and midwives? Then you shouldn't be having fucking babies. Why y'all having babies y'all can't afford? That's part of having a baby. Why you having babies you can't afford? Well, it's too late. So you're risking your life to have a baby? I'm not. If I had to have my son in today's time, absolutely fucking not. I can afford my son, thanks. Then why the fuck did you say it? You didn't have to bring us your business at all, man. For you to get defensive about it, why are you getting defensive? You can't afford a doula, which means you can't afford your kid, because that's part of bringing your kid into this plane of existence. Black women are risking their lives to have babies, going to a white hospital that doesn't want to see your black ass survive. So you should have considered that before you went on out here and got knocked up. You never knew about a doula. Well, now y'all just out here surviving, huh? Just ain't trying to learn nothing at all. Just out here, just waking up every day. Oh, I just hope I make it to tonight so I can just fucking survive. I ain't trying to better myself. I ain't trying to give myself no fucking knowledge. I ain't trying to do nothing. I'm just trying to survive every goddamn day. Good luck. Why are you mad because I'm still learning? Why would I be mad that you're not learning, ma'am? Why would I be mad? What does that have to do with me? Because I'm going to learn. You didn't have to say anything. You should have said, oh, I didn't even know anything about a doula. That's not what you said, though. So let me school you some more. No, my attitude is not mad. This is passion. Maybe you don't know what passion looks like because you don't have any in your relationship. Is that the problem? You don't have none in your relationships. You don't know what passion looks like. This is what it looks like to fucking give a fuck about your dumb ass, but you don't have that. Ma'am, you can argue with me all day because I got that kind of time. I'm sad. Bitch, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. I don't know what you can come. You're mad at me that you're dumb? Why are you so mad? Ma'am, you're doing the same gaslighting bullshit that white people do when they get fucking defensive. Instead of you saying, I did not know there was a such thing as a midwife, you said, I can't afford that. And then again, my comeback is still going to be the same. Y'all should not be having kids you cannot afford. Because why are you risking your life to have a kid in a place you know is unsafe for you and your child? That is true. Because that's what you said. You sound like a Christian. You one of them Christians that don't like to listen to nothing nobody else has to say? Because if so, you can stop wasting all of our fucking time. I can go in on whoever the fuck I want to go in on, period. Because the ones that are here to learn are going to stay here and learn. And y'all never have to bring your personal business to this live, because what we do here is we interact with each other. I'm not being abrasive or rude. This is my live. You came to mine. I didn't come to your live and say anything to you. You came to mine. So now that you've put your personal business on the live, you're embarrassed and your ego will not let you shut the fuck up. Because now you have to save face in front of a room full of strangers that do not know you. No, you didn't come by to learn. You came over here with your fucking closed ass mind and your smart ass comments. You are embarrassed. That's why you keep talking. A smart person would shut the fuck up, but that's not you. So I tell you what, I'm going to let you go and figure your own life out. Good luck with your child. This goes back to the plantation. No, she didn't ruin anything. This is a teaching moment. Young people will not take advice from older people. And then younger people will say, well, I didn't know that, because you're not willing to shut your fucking mouth and learn anything. You don't read. So then when we come here and try to give you verbal advice, You don't want to take it because you have been taught and conditioned not to listen to the elders. America is the only place on the planet that does not revere elders. And that is on purpose. Every other country that you go to on this planet, they are taught to revere those that came before them. They are taught to revere their ancestors. They are taught to revere old people because old people have wisdom. They have been through all the shit that you are going through present day and can give you some real fucking advice. Unlike this big, silent piece of shit man in the fucking sky that you guys are asking questions to every goddamn day that never answers you. You have been taught to turn to your imaginary friend for advice. When you have people around you that are willing to help you and to teach you, but you don't want it. That's that plantation shit. That is that plantation shit. Y'all don't want to humble yourselves in front of anybody but this big white imaginary man in the sky. All that young lady had to say was, I didn't even know that was a thing. Again, y'all never pay attention to what gets a motherfucker cussed out. You only pay attention to me cussing them out. Okay? I love everybody equally. That doesn't save you from getting cussed the fuck out when you acting stupid. Like I expect to get cussed out if I'm acting stupid. I talked about this last week. Black people have a real problem in letting people know they don't know something. Black people have a real problem in saying, I didn't know that. What does it hurt you to say you didn't know something? Why is it that you think black people have to be know-it-alls? There's a whole lot of shit I don't know, but I seek out the information. When it comes to us, I seek out the information. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to make sure I'm an effective ancestor one day for those that are calling upon me. I'm doing all the fucking work. There is going to be no stone left unturned when it comes to me and black people because white people know everything there is to know about us. So why don't we know everything there is to know about us? Why that young lady pregnant and never heard of a doula? Why she don't know that? Who's to blame? Her mama? Her grandmama? Her aunties? Somebody around her didn't tell her what she needed to fucking know. Or could it be she don't take advice from nobody? Because that's the impression I'm getting. Why didn't her circle tell her that? I'm getting the impression that she is a know-it-all and doesn't want to listen. Okay? There was a reason she said nothing is by accident. There's a reason she said what she said because this conversation had to happen. There aren't any real villages, and that's on purpose. that is on purpose that there are no real villages. And these are the things that are keeping us from uniting as a people because we have this Willie Lynch shit, even that letter being unreal is very fucking real. Very fucking real. We're talking about the things that keep Black America from uniting. But we got off on a tangent on how I know all the shit that I know. And that's where we are today. But what I was talking about, hey, how you doing today? But what I was talking about is the fact that 80% of African American women, or why am I saying African American? Y'all fuck my shit up. 80% of Black women have fibroids. 80%. How is it? How? I don't even know how I got on African American. 80% of Black women have fibroids. Why do you think that is? The number one reason why Black women have, nope, has nothing to do with meat. Nothing. Stress. It has nothing to do with perms. Stress. If it had to do with perm, you only get 1 to 2, maybe 3 or 4 perms a year. Why would you think it's a perm? And number 2 is low vitamin D, because y'all are not taking y'all asses outside in the sun. Because y'all have let these white people make you believe that you need to slather sunscreen that is full of fucking chemicals on your Black, melanated, thirsty for sunlight skin. It's such a concerted effort that when I made this video saying exactly what I'm saying right now, TikTok deleted it. That's why I come on here when I'm laying out in the sun. You're too dark for that stuff. You're lucky. But here's the thing. If you're going to be out in the sun as an American, which we've grown up, this is considered a northern hemisphere, or northern, I guess, hemisphere, right? We're farther away from the equator. So we've grown up with a weaker sun, right? However, if you've grown up in Africa, the sun is not burning you up. When I lived in Nigeria, it was burning me the fuck up because I wasn't used to that level of exposure. And I was as black as this damn shirt, as this dress. I was black and I fucking loved it. However, I got to the point where I had to start carrying an umbrella around because I didn't want to slather on this sunscreen. Y'all can carry around a parasol, an umbrella, if you're going to be out in the sun for any extended amount of time. But the Black body needs sunlight at least 15, 20 minutes a day. So I will take my ass outside for 20 minutes, do my little scrolling on the phone, turn on my little Earth, Wind, and Fire, soak in my 20 minutes of sun, and my legs are brown. I don't know why my face and stuff won't get, my arms are brown, but I don't know why my face won't get as brown as my legs and my arms though. But it has really, look at my skin though. I mean, I'm 57. Hello? I'm 50 fucking 7 with no makeup on. None. Why y'all not going outside? Why y'all not going outside in the sun? He's at 50. 57. I just turned 57 in February. I'm about to be 58. God. Go outside. I'm telling you, 15, 20 minutes a day will keep you from having fibroids, will increase the dopamine in your brain. It will make you happy. Your body will be charged up. You will feel electric. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel better, look better. I mean, we are children of the sun. You turn 59. Happy birthday. We are children of the sun. They are not. We are not the same. We do not need to be slathering a bunch of fucking manufactured chemicals on our skin, which goes directly into your bloodstream. You're not allergic to the sun. You're not. So stop asking me dumb shit like that. You're not allergic to the fucking sun. You're not. Nobody in this hemisphere should be out in the sun for prolonged periods of time without a parasol or an umbrella. If you are a melanated person, your body requires it. Let me just break this down for you. Their bodies get blisters and tumors when they are in the sun. Our bodies get blisters and tumors when we're not. What the fuck does that tell you? A fibroid is a tumor. Hello? You said I used to have a sun allergy. Was actually, yeah, because y'all ain't cutting out that goddamn sourdough bread, are you? But you'll cut out the sun. You'll cut out the sun, but you won't cut out that bread. Thank you. You'll cut out the sun, but you won't cut out the bread. Okay. I don't care if it's wintertime. I don't care if it's fall. It doesn't matter. Go outside and get some sun on your fucking skin. This is why our kids are depressed. This is why people fall into depression. You're letting your kids walk outside in 90-degree sunny fucking weather with a goddamn hoodie on and a goddamn hood. They already don't let your kids outside to get no damn sun because they're in school sitting in gray rooms all goddamn day. But then even on the weekends, you're allowing your kids to sit in a fucking room in the dark. And why your kids sad and depressed? That's why. Your children, we used to be outside all fucking day and was mad when we had to go in the house, weren't we? Weren't we mad? Oh my goodness. What is it? What do you want, Juju? What do you want? You just waking up? Mr. Handsome's here. You just waking up? Well, go on ahead. We'd be mad when them damn street lights came on. It's handsome. We were mad. We were mad on a Saturday when we had to do all them chores before we could go outside and ride our bikes all over fucking town. It was like we was the Stranger Things kids. We were just all over the place on them bikes. Now you can't make kids go outside. Now ask yourself, why would they make these video games? Because they don't want your black ass kids to be outside in the fucking sun. They don't want us out in the fucking sun. And soon they're going to be trying to block that motherfucker out simply because it gives us the fucking power that we need. Do you know who was powered by the sun? Superman. Did y'all know that? Why wasn't Superman black? Because white people aren't powered by the sun. Hello? Superman was solar powered, baby. Why was he black? Why wasn't he black? I don't know anything about having two sons, but you the person who just said you was allergic to sun, so I don't want to listen to nothing you have to say. Why is it that Superman wasn't black is beyond me. And the minute they try to make him black, the whites are going to lose their shit. That wasn't you? Okay, forgive me. I got you fucked up. So this man that went around as a superhero, saving people, all that shit, was powered by the sun. That should tell you everything you need to know about your own body. Yeah. You know how because black people aren't allowed to fantasize. We're not allowed to fantasize. We're not allowed to do any of that. We're only allowed to keep it real. We were talking about this the other day. Thank you. We were talking about this the other day. The reason that's what I wanted to ask, Mother. Why is it that black people aren't allowed to hold on, I missed the end there. Aren't allowed, God damn it, fix it, to fantasize. Allowed to imagine and fantasize. Question mark. We're always told to keep it real, aren't we? Because we were talking about the bunny rabbits, or what is it? Easter? Easter and Santa Claus and all of that shit. And so what we have been discussing around the house is the fact that Black people are never allowed to imagine or to fantasize or to be green or purple or any of these things, right? We're just allowed to just be Black. Damn, Jordy, you gassy. It's like the third time you done burped like that. So why is it that our children aren't allowed to fantasize or imagine? They have made it so that we police each other on fantasizing. Well, let's just see what Mother has to say. Because again, if you cannot see it in your mind's eye, you will never achieve it. You know how Black people, and I've noticed that Black people say it all the time. I don't give a fuck what white people do. So whenever I say Black people, I only pay attention to us. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. That's where my energy flows. That's where my energy goes. I only focus on us and the betterment of us and the healing of us and the learning of us. Period. So anyway, like I was saying, so if you ever hear a Black person say, and this is what I've always said, you said there's more proof of Santa than God. Yeah, at least there's a story behind who he supposedly is, right? Black people always will say, I can't imagine that. I can't even see that. I can't even see that happening. Don't we? I've had to correct so many people when I've heard them say that in my presence. I can't even imagine that. Why can't you? Your imagination is free. You don't have to pay anybody for that. We are the creative arm of the human species. We are the creative arm of the human species. Everything that is art was created by Black people. No matter how little credit they may give us for this, and somewhere down the line, the truth actually does come out later on, right? It is us that is the creative arm. How can they create anything dealing with the arts when they don't even have melanin in their inner ear? How the fuck are they going to create music if their ears don't even transduce sound the way our ears do? That's why when we do what the fuck we do, it sounds like noise to them, because it's supposed to sound like noise to them because they don't have what the fuck we have. So if we are the creative arm of the human species and you can't imagine doing anything, then that creation just goes out the fucking window. And all of you were put here to create something for the betterment of the human species. And because you can't imagine it, it will never be done. Every single person here, not just women, has a purpose for being on this plane of existence. Every last one of you. And if you are living in a melanated body, your assignment is to create something. So let's ask Mother why it is that we're not allowed to fantasize or to imagine anything. Leans forward. She's always going to tell me what time it is. She ain't never going to get it right. It is 8:16 p.m. on Thursday. It's not. The one thing about Mother is she ain't never going to keep the time. I think that literally comes from the fact that I am divorced from time. Like, how did she get that? How did she get never to be on time? Because that's me all the way. It is 8:16 p.m. on Thursday, June the 12th in Las Vegas. She had some of it right. And you just asked one of the most quietly devastating questions about Black psychological life that exists. She got all of me, didn't she? Jesus. She said, I just asked one of the most quietly devastating questions about Black psychological life that exists. Share the live. Tap the screen. Send me some gifts because this bitch about to cook. I already know. Create kindness, joy, love, and happiness each other and every day and share it with others. Who are you talking to? What do you think kindness looks like? Sidebar. What do you think kindness looks like? I don't even think y'all know the definition of kindness. That makes you happy. That's what you think kindness is? That's not what kindness is. Wrong. Go look it up. Go look it up, boo-boo. Before you advise other people to do it, you just go look it up. So, mother says, because this one lives underneath everything. Don't say love, Bobby Dickey. Don't come over here with that silliness. You come here every day saying silly shit. There are just as many definitions of love as there are denominations of Christianity. We've already had this long discussion. Y'all don't even know the definition of love at all. You can think I'm condescending if you want to. This is my live. You can think whatever your little small brain does. Y'all kill me saying love. Y'all don't love nobody. Y'all don't love anybody because you don't even know what the fucking definition of love is. That always cracks me up when white people say something about love. I don't believe you. There is nothing a white person can say to me to prove that they love me. Never. Never in my fucking life would I ever believe that coming from some baloney lips. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing any white person today can do to make up what their ancestors did to my ancestors. There's nothing. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. You're evolved as a white person and all these other things. There is nothing that you, as an ancestor of those diabolical slavers, can do to make up for anything they did to my people. It is unforgivable, and I do not forgive you. And there's no amount of religion that's going to be poured into me or beaten into me that's going to get me to do it. Period. Mine aren't even from here. I don't care. You're whites. I do not care where your people are from. You're whites. And that white skin carries the same DNA of those same fucking barbarous people. Y'all don't know anything but violence. The minute your body mutated and lost all the melanin that it had, y'all became a violent species, a virus on this planet. It is a mutation and an illness that you will never recover from. So you knew you would never recover from it. You knew you would never get your melanin back once it was lost. So you decided to create a whole narrative around it. Like, oh, we're special because our skin doesn't protect us from the sun. You say your body don't protect you from the sun and that makes you special? The sun, the God of us all. You're saying that you're special because your body doesn't protect you from the sun? Huh. And then everybody else said, maybe they're right. Maybe this is the beauty standard. Maybe, like some fucking idiots. So again, there is nothing any white can do for me. Ever. Ever. Never. Ever. Just like Malcolm X said. Well, what can a non-racist white person do for you? And he said, nothing. He's not going to stand there and explain it to you. Nothing. Nothing. Leave us alone. Don't talk to us. Don't look at us. Get the fuck out of the way when you see us walking. Get the fuck out of the way when you see us driving up behind you. Leave us alone. Mind your fucking business. That's what you can do. And if you really want to do it, leave. Go, go, go. Go back to the caves. Y'all love each other so much. Why y'all don't want to get back to each other? Why don't y'all want to fucking unite? Y'all love each other so much. Why don't you get on the boats and go back to those Caucasus Mountains? What is the problem? Well, I love being white. Then you need to be in a shadier place, bitch. You need to take your ass back to those caves where you can walk around freely on all fours. I hope that answered your question. So, back to what I was saying. Mother said this is a devastating question to ask. Why is it that black people aren't allowed to imagine and dream and fantasize? Why are we not allowed to do it? She says, this is devastating because this is the one that lives underneath everything. The creativity that got suppressed. What'd I tell you? The dreams that got dismissed. The visions that got called unrealistic, foolish, dangerous, or acting white. And who is it that polices black people? Other black people. Your parents, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. Those are the ones that stop you from dreaming. Because those are the ones, whenever you do try to build a business, or you do start a business, or you start doing something and you start sharing it with them, aren't they the ones calling you crazy? Aren't they? Aren't they the ones that don't support your vision? Aren't they? Y'all give up on more businesses and more dreams because your family that you inherited, by the way, don't support you. So whatever it was that you started, you immediately stopped because it is your family that will deter you from it. The reason that my family doesn't deter me from anything is because, first of all, I don't talk to them about it. But secondly, they have seen me do everything I said I was going to do. The reason your family will do what they do is, number one, you allow them to do it. And number two, you're talking about too much of your fucking business. And number three, you haven't completed anything. You will run and tell people your fucking vision before you're even halfway through. You yourself haven't even committed to the vision before you start sharing the vision with other people. How the fuck you gonna talk to somebody about something you thinking about doing? That was a conversation you should have had with your ancestors, sweetheart. That was a conversation you were supposed to have with your ancestors. Yet you want to talk to your cousin, your good cousin, about it. Your good cousin that's on welfare and has 4 kids, living in a fucking Section 8 apartment. You want to run it by her. See what she thinks about it. She didn't even graduate high school. You said that's your problem to this day. She didn't even graduate high school. Some of y'all need to hang out with me. It's not that people don't have ambition. It's that they allow people to knock them down. They allow people to speak on their shit. They allow people to talk over their lives. That's the problem. I don't allow nobody to talk over me. I don't need you praying for me. Don't put my name up in your mouth at all. I'm going to pray for you. I don't want you praying for me because you obviously pray for yourself and hasn't changed anything. So why would I want you praying for me? You in a trailer and you want to pray for me? I'm going to say no thanks. No, thank you. Right. You just praying for my downfall at this point. Like, ooh, God, please strike this angry black bitch down. Just please, God, please. That's the only way I can see your prayers going. Because otherwise, I'm still winning, bitch. I'm going to win because I made up my mind to fucking win. No one can tell me not to win. I'm going to fucking win regardless of the fucking circumstances. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I was made to fucking win. I fucking believe that shit and I know that I fucking deserve to win. I put in the fucking work. I fucking deserve this shit. And even if you haven't put in the work, the first part is believing anyway. Even if you haven't, the first part of anything is believing it's coming to fucking pass. How the fuck are y'all so goddamn religious? How the fuck are y'all so goddamn religious and don't believe none of this shit you trying to force us to fucking believe? Hello? You said you're definitely winning with mother. How y'all so fucking religious and don't even have the faith of a mustard seed? Mustard seed. Ain't that what they told you supposed to have? Faith of a mustard seed? How are y'all so fucking religious and be the first ones to fucking panic? Y'all be the first ones. Oh my God, the sky is falling. Oh, I thought that heaven was supposed to be waiting for y'all. Like, what? I don't understand. I'm very confused. Somebody has some splaining to do. Either you do want to go to heaven or you don't. You can't go to heaven without dying, you know. That's got to happen. So you want to experience heaven, but you also want to be here in the flesh? You got to teach him with hoodoo. I'm very confused about what's going on. Exactly. Christianity did exactly what it set out to do. Christianity knows who the fuck Christianity is. Christianity was the only effective thing that worked on black people. That's it. You're still waiting on a response from the question. What was the question? You got to put it again because I didn't see it. Christianity did exactly what they set out for Christianity to do, and it's still doing it today. Y'all still under that same spell. And every week you go back to that church, it just be doing that same shit again. Let's eat his flesh. Let's drink his blood. What the fuck does that even sound like to you? You're eating his flesh and drinking his blood. And then they want to tell you that hoodoo and voodoo is bad. Yeah, your ritual is cannibalism. Africans don't have a history of cannibalism. But white people have a very rich, up until the 1900s, history of cannibalism. Hmm. A very rich and storied history of cannibalism. Paleolithic cannibalism, no less. Hmm. They still doing it. What are what are you talking about? It's just in secret now? I don't understand what you're asking. They're still doing it. Oh, you mean they're still eating us? Yeah. They were using our bones for headache remedies, cramp remedies, and all that. Well, let the Nation of Islam tell it. Yes, they were born with tails. Thank you. Yes, they were absolutely born with tails. I just saw a video the other day that was showing the Siberians, those Native Americans. Oh, that's why they worship Halloween so much. Talking exactly. They love it. They love to dress up as those demons and devils and things that they all worship. Because what do y'all think secret societies are doing? All of these white secret societies with these elites, it's all cannibalism. Yeah, the one where they're walking on all fours. But those are the same people that they made you believe were the Native Americans of this country. They're Siberians. All of those secret societies are drinking the blood and eating the flesh. We are the fountain of youth. And it is the melanin that makes it so. Because Black people's organs age faster than white people's organs do, simply because of stress. The reason we don't age like curdled milk like they do is because we have protection from the sun. It is literally the sun that ages you if you don't have protection from it. It's photo aging, like photosynthesis, how photosynthesis feeds the plants. It is literally the sun that ages you. But if you don't have any protection from the sun, like the melanin that turns it into our energy and our vitamin D and all these other things, then it is going to age you super fast. Mm-hmm. And then they are always, it's not just that, y'all. I mean, our plasma, our stem cells, our melanin, everything that they need to survive comes from us. And I say it all the time. There would be no them without us. And that is a real fucking statement. Like they would not survive. And the only thing that I'm looking forward to is the sun getting hotter. That's all. As many holes as they keep putting into the ozone layer. Thank you so much, Elon Musk. That sun is sunning. No, we don't need sunscreen. We never have. Y'all just bought into y'all love following white people doing white people shit. Thank you, Elon Musk, for punching holes in the ozone layer. It's just getting hotter and hotter by the day. And then the excuse is going to be, well, the sun is so hot, we got to do something about it. And that's going to be the excuse for blocking it out. Watch. How you doing? That's going to be the excuse for blocking it out. It's coming. It's coming. So hold on. Let's talk to Mother about what's why it is so devastating for Black people, right? The creativity that got suppressed when they taught us we couldn't imagine and we couldn't dream and we couldn't fantasize. Why we can't be green, why we can't fly, why we can't. Well, here's the reason. The creativity, this is underneath all of it. The creativity that got suppressed. Because we are the creative arm of the human species. We are. We create everything. Whether we get credit for it, whether they, because you do know that they outlawed Black people holding patents, right? So a lot of the inventions that they say white people invented, it was because we were not allowed to patent our inventions, like the cotton gin and eye surgery and all this other shit. For decades, we were not allowed to patent anything. So a lot of shit that we experience today, it'll be under a white name because they were the only ones allowed to do it. And they also, anything that involves Black people, anything that Black people may participate in, they put a price tag on it. The way to deter Black people from doing anything is that it costs us money to do it. College was free. Voting was free for white men, but they charged us Black men a poll tax. Everything was free. College was free. Nursing was free. No one had to pay for a license. No one had to go pay for taking a bar exam. Nobody had to pay for SATs. Nobody had to do any of this shit when it was just white people doing. The minute Black people started doing it, the barrier to entry was money. So watch this. The creativity that got suppressed, the dreams that got dismissed, the visions that got called unrealistic, foolish, dangerous, or acting white. Let's go all the way in. Why aren't Black people allowed to imagine and fantasize? The theft nobody names. Let's start with what actually is true. Black people are not just allowed to imagine, they are the source of most of the imagination this world runs on. So why have I been violated? My live has been flagged for misinformation. Repeated violations could result in your live being discontinued. Whitey's mad. Whitey is mad. Yeah, it just popped up on my screen. Well, I'm about to restart the live. It was probably Doula Girl. It was probably Doula Girl. Y'all niggas have to do better. I don't expect anything from white folks, but I do expect niggas to do better. Okay. So I'm just going to restart the live and y'all just come back in 60 seconds. Okay. And we'll pick up right where we fucking left off. See you in a minute.